Yud Ches.
Starting Be'ez Hashem Siman Yud Ches of Maamar Shevuos. And the subject is to show that the Shevuos Shelo Yalu B'Choyma, going up as a wall, is even with permission from the ruling power in Eretz Yisrael. Even if there's a king in Eretz Yisrael who gives us permission to go up, we're not allowed to go up. And the Rabbi is going to bring rise from Midrashim and Gemaras here that the point of exile and the point of this Shvuah is not a type of to prevent rebellion against the nation that rules Eretz Yisrael, but it's because we're other reasons Hashem wants us to.
Obviously, there's Yal B'Chol and Shalosh are two separate issues.
Yeah.
Are totally two separate matters.
But the people who say that with permission is mutter are basically saying that they're the same idea, because they're basically saying to go up with permission, without permission, is a merida against that nation that rules Eretz Yisrael.
But what you make of Yal B'Chol so only could mean that not to get it back in masses, even with permission.
Okay.
That's Yal B'Chol and Yal B'Chol because.
But basically, they're saying it's like, sometimes the Gemara says trei gavni. Sometimes it's two types of the same thing. Like the Gemara takes a list and it breaks it down and it says, okay, this is a subcategory of that.
So the Gemara doesn't say
trei gavni.
The Gemara views are two separate matters.
Okay.
And more so just say.
But we're trying to disprove that. We already showed that, the Yifei Kol asked why they have to have two different oaths on that. But, he's trying to show from other places that that's not the meaning of the oath. And by the way, I want to just say one more thing here. Later on, I think in Siman Ayin Hey, the Rabbi is going to deal with the people who say that the Shevuos depend on one another. You ever heard that before? That the Goyim violated theirs.
Except there's not one Mefarsh who says that.
That's true also.
The Maharal doesn't learn that way. The Pnei Yeshua doesn't.
Right. Okay, anyway, I don't want to get into it too much now. I want to just make one point about it, that if you learn that the Shvuah of going up as a wall has nothing to do with rebellion against them, then there's no way. Yeah, you can't make this dependent on what they do because it's nothing to do with them.
The point is to keep goals according to Maamar in existence. Even the Goyim are obligated in this, and if they over-oppress Yisrael, they'll add to goals because the Yud to come prematurely. Because if you add, it also lacks, and if you add on to the Yud, it causes it to lack, and the Yud will come prematurely. So Amar Adrab will learn that even the Goyim are to bring the Yud prematurely. So Adrab will go against what they're saying.
Yeah. Okay, now here's the first raya. V'gemor Pesachim Daf Pei Zayin. It's Pei Zayin on the base, and I have it copied here. We'll see it inside in a minute. Rabbi Lazar, what does it mean in the pasuk? Tzidkas pirzoinoi b'Yisrael, the righteousness of Hashem scattering the Jews. Tzedakah asa Kodesh Baruch Hu. Hashem did a kindness, a righteousness b'Yisrael shepizron lebeinu u'mos, by scattering us among the nations. Now he doesn't bring the end of it.
It's also Gemara in Gittin. It also has the same thing in Gittin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hashem did a kindness, I believe.
Okay. Oh, you mean the Gemara at the end of Gittin that says that he brought the Gauls a little bit early so they shouldn't be destroyed. All right, but this is talking about scattering.
Scattering. Yeah.
Now take a look in page. Where's the Gemara? Oh, here it is. Page 4 of the Maamar Kohenis. Okay. We'll start.
What page is this? What daf is this?
It's Pei Zayin Amud Beis Psachim. Perko Isha.
Zion?
Pei Zayin,
right. Yeah, I'm Rabbi Moshe.
87b. Okay, so Rabbi Oishia, Ma'adich Siv, Tzidkas Pirzonia b'Yisrael. And by the way, Rabbi Oishia was in Eretz Yisrael, and that was under the Romans. We're going to see in a minute why that's important.
So he was in Tana, Rabbi Oishia?
He was not a late Tana, early Amoira. That it says that the brises were arranged by Rabbi Chia and Rabbi Oishia.
Yeah, very, very early, right. Who were just about as great as Tanaim were, like rough.
So he says, "Ma'adich siv tzidkas pirzoni b'Yisrael, tzedakah azar Kodesh Baruch Hu b'Yisrael shepizron lebeinu u'mos." That's what the Rebbe quoted. Now look at the next part. V'hainu the Omer le'ahu mina. That's what there was a certain heretic, and there's a heretic. Min is a code word for early Christian, I think.
No, min I just think just a min. It's Aramaic for min, like somebody who's learned it, but it still is not pikaris.
That's true, but I think Rabbi Yaakov Emden on his Pirush on Avodah Zarah Daf Yud Zayin says that everywhere where the Gemara says min, it's a code word for Christians because they didn't want to say openly because they didn't want to antagonize them.
So the min who made fun of Rabbi who was learning was a Christian. That means
that's what Rabbi Yaakov Emden says. Every place the min it says.
And when the Gemara says burn butchered by minim, burn it's Christians or any heretic. That's rather.
Well, I don't know if it means every heretic, but. Probably it does, but
because the Maharal says not like that.
The word means that. There's a Gemara in Avodah Zarah, I think Chav Ches, that says that there was someone named Yaakov Minah. He was like a doctor who used his
maybe minna, but it's min
religion
itself.
to heal people. I don't know. So he says that in the uncensored text of the Gemara, it says he was Talmidi Yeshu Anoitri. He was a Talmud of Yashka.
I see.
So, because this word min. So this min was apparently not Jewish, because take a look what he says. The early Christians, most of them were Jewish, but this one apparently wasn't. Take a look what he said. He said to Rabbi Chanina, Anan, we, the non-Jews, ma'alina minaychu, we're better than you. Why? Ksiv b'chu, it says regarding you. Ki sheishes chadashim yashiv sham Yoav, the pasuk says that Yoav, the general of David HaMelech, stayed in a certain place and killed out all the males of the Edomites. They're really Amalek.
I don't know Amalek, because he said, Timcha Zachar Amalek, that's Zachar Amalek.
Right. So he killed all the males. V'ilu anan, but we, isinchu gabon, you, the Jews, are living by us in exile, kamashani, for many years. V'loikav avdin l'chumidi, we don't do anything to you. So you see, we're better than you. We don't kill you.
You killed Amalek. You tried to kill Amalek, but we don't try to kill you.
And we're Romans. He's talking about himself as a Roman. He's saying we're from Esav, and you're living by us, and we're not doing anything to you.
Yeah.
So Amar Lo said to him, Rabbi Chanina said to him, I don't have to even answer you. One of my Talmidim could answer you.
Yeah.
Rabbi Oishia went to answer him. Amar Le, Mishum de Layadisu Hechi Tavdu. The only reason you don't kill us is because you don't know how to do it. You really want to do it, but you don't know how. Why? Because Techalinan Kulhu, you want to kill all the Jews. Leis Nuga Baichu, they're not all living by you. Some Jews are in Bavel. They're not under the Romans. So, maybe you just want to kill the Jews who are living by you? No. The rest of the Jews they're going to make a Holocaust museum. They're going to say, you bad Romans, you killed all the Jews,
Like a memorial on this.
Memorial, and you'll live in infamy forever. So Amar Le, he said to him, Gapa de Ramoy, by the flag of the Romans, which Rashi says is Avodah Zarah. He says, I swear by the Avodah Zarah that this is what we're thinking about when we go in and when we go out, when we go up and when we go down and up.
Total the Zionists believe that they gather in one place. God won't kill them. Adrabah. Even Rabbi Chanina's student knew that it's not the case. Rabbi Moshe.
Right.
They want to kill you out, but because they're scared, they can't.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the hemshech of the Gemara. I don't know why Satmar Rebbe doesn't bring the whole Gemara, but he just brings that Hashem wants the Yidden scattered, and he's going to bring another reason in a minute. Take a look inside.
So yes, it's indeed something I don't believe in clearly.
Right. Never put all the eggs in one basket.
Right, it's how the saying goes. Yeah.
Take a look back in Vayoel Moshe for a minute. Keep your place there. Uba Avodah Zarah Daf Yud. There's this famous story over there about Katia Bar Shalom. You ever heard that story?
No.
Katia Bar Shalom was a minister in the Roman government.
Yeah.
And there was a Kaiser of Rome who wanted to kill the Jews, and he asked for advice from his ministers. And Katia Bar Shalom spoke up. He said the same basic idea that this Gemara says. He says, if you're going to kill them all, you can't kill them all. They're not living by you. Elamai kill just some of them. Then the other ones will come and say bad about you. So he said, you're right, but since you're right, and you defeated the emperor in an argument, you're chayav misa. So he went and he threw him into a chamber and buried him alive, and on the way out, he took his arla, he made himself a bris milah, to make himself a Jew. So that's why they call him Katia Bar Shalom.
He wasn't Jewish, that minister, right?
He wasn't Jewish, no. But he was converted at the last minute, just so he should die as a Yid.
So he understood already, as a goy, he understood the meaning.
Okay, but in the middle of that Gemara it says, the quotation that Katia Bar Shalom brings to show that the Jews are scattered is this pasuk. I scattered you like the four winds. It doesn't say it's to the four corners, it says like the four corners, like the four winds. That why? Just like the world can't exist without wind.
And we'll have the four corners as well if you learn it out.
Okay, so the world can't exist without Jews.
Yeah, the Maharal actually very much emphasized on this, how serious it means it.
And that's why the Jews have to be scattered around the world, because they have to be in all places so the world should exist.
Yes.
The Marshal explains because Hashem scattered them around the world, that's why the whole world knows about there's such a thing as Hashem, there's such a thing as the Torah.
Right.
If we wouldn't be living here, then they wouldn't know about it. For who kiyum shal olam? That's the way the world exists. V'chein nira meloshin Rashi zal tainis daf gimel base. Al-ha, that's what Rashi says there. Al-ha di omer ef shelo olam b'lo Yisrael. The world can't exist without the Jews. She'eno olam miskaim ella b'shvil Yisrael. Only because of the Jews. And v'hachi omer kra, that's what the pasuk says. Ki gedal ruchais hashamayim pirasti eschem. That I scattered you to the four corners of the earth like the winds.
Man, Zion to believe Zion just think Jews are interference to the Goyim, and they will cause them to exist. According to that, you're just a plague to the Goyim. Goyim want to get rid of this plague, and they don't view Jews as causing Goyim to exist. They only view Jews as causing Israel to exist, but not the world.
So, Perasti Eschem L'Ruchais Ha'olam Kadeshi is Kaim, so the world should exist. Shenamar Im Loi Brisi Yom V'Layla, if not for the bris of the Torah, for day and night, learning Torah, Chukas Shemayim V'Aretz Lo Samti, I wouldn't have created the world.
Aside from the fact, not just the world, but the Rekia and all of Israel, and every land had its Mazal and Malach. So to say that Judah are interference had Mazal and Malach is also ridiculous. Because even the Rekia and all my own only is good as well.
Right. So we have two reasons now why the Jews have to be scattered. Number one, to protect them, not put all the eggs in one basket.
And the world itself, the world
needs their kiyum, needs them. And just on the subject of scattering them to protect them, I brought a couple more places to look here.
Where?
The Ramban in Vayishlach, page 5, beginning of Vayishlach, the Ramban says, small print there at the bottom, that why did the Torah write the parsha of Yaakov and Esav? He says, Yesh pozeh oid remez l'doros. It's a remez for all future generations. Ki kol asher ira le'avinu im Esav. Everything that happened with Yaakov and Esav. Achiv yera lanu tamid im b'nei Esav. It will happen to us with the children of Esav. V'roi lanu lechois b'darko shel tzadik. We have to prepare ourselves like that tzadik. Shenazmin atzmeinu l'shloisha d'advarim shehizmin hu atzmei. L'tfila u'ledoirin u'latzola b'derech milchama v'ivroyach v'linatzel. So we have to do three things. Davening, and sending presents to them, and the third thing is milchama. But the Ramban teaches that milchama for us means to run away and to be saved. You hear? So that's important. The Tzionim also want to say, we want to copy Yaakov Avinu, milchama.
And Rabbi Bachya says war impossible in our time.
Exactly. But also, this thing that Yaakov, where Yaakov did livroyach linot, so where did he do the running away? So that was what he said, that he split up his camp into two, and he said if Esav hits one, the other one will escape. And that's what Rashi...
He didn't prepare to gather up and fight against Esav.
Well, it could be he did that, but we don't do that. But at least the part of splitting up, we copy that from him. So take a look what he says, the Ramban, the Pasuk Tes, page 6. He says... Yaakov knew she'en zarai kulai noifel b'yad Esav. There would never be a time when all the Jews would be under Esav. Even under Hitler, only a certain percentage of the Jews, like half of them, were under his lands. Not all of them. So it says limcha says shmeinu, to wipe out our name. Aval yasu rois im kitzaseinu. They'll do bad to some of them. B'kitzasu haratzos in some lands. Shalhem. Melech echad goizer mehem goizer bi'artzoi al amoimenu. One king will make a decree against our money, oy al gufeinu, or against our bodies. Melech acher merachim koimoy, and another king will have mercy on us in another place. Umatzil apleitim, he'll save the refugees. V'chach amru bebreshis rabba im yavo Esav el amachane alachas v'hikahu. If Esav comes to the first camp and smites it, elu acheinu shebedarim. That means the Jews living in the south. That's the other camp of Jews, the other place where Jews live. Okay? Yes. So that's the idea of scattering the Jews. Okay, so weiter. Uvetana, one second. Umevur bazeh. We see from this, the Ratzon of Hashem is Hu l'toivas Yisrael, U l'toivas ha'olam, for the good of the Jews and the good of the world. Should be zman hagoyla, during exile, Yiyu Yisrael mefuzarim. The Jews should davka be scattered b'chol dal ruchos ha'olam, in all the four corners of the world. V'lo yalu kulam Eretz Yisrael, and not all of them should come to Eretz Yisrael. Uvetana de Eliyahu, Sefer Eliyahu Rabbah. In one of the parts of Tana de Eliyahu, it says. It's the Braisis that Eliyahu Navi taught to one of the Amoraim. He says, Perek Yud shemedaber sham mimasha pizer HaKadosh Baruch Hu es Yisrael, that it says about when Hashem scattered the Jews. Kasav al zeh hamashal. It brings there a mashal about Balabais, Hu yodea be'ezem makom yafkid es kelav. There's a similar story about a guy who came and he asked the question. He said, "We're better than you." And the Talmud answered him back. He said, "The Baal Habayis knows where to keep his vessels." When Hashem will come back to his house, he'll bring his kalim back to his house. We see from this, only HaKadosh Baruch Hu is Shehu HaBaal Habayis Yodei L'Sader Be'ezim Mekoyim Yisifayis Yisrael. He knows where to scatter the Jews to. Kamasha Omar Kasuv Me'Hashem Mitzadei Gever Konanu. From Hashem, the feet of a man will be set. So Hashem decides when a Yid wanders around the world. Hashem decides where he's going to end up. When the time of redemption does come, then Hashem will gather them in. Nobody else could gather them in. So this is against the pshat that holds that we could, with permission from the king, we could gather ourselves in. It says that by the bris bein absarim, the covenant between the parts, Hashem said to Avram, "You should know that your descendants will be a stranger in the land of Egypt." Right? So Darash Yodaya Teda. Know you should know. What are the two languages? Yodaya Sha'ani Mefazram. Know that I scatter them, and Teda Sha'ani Mechamsam. That I'm going to gather them in. Yodaya Sha'ani Mashkanon. No, I'm going to put them as hostages. But Teda Shani Porkan, you should know that I'm going to be the one to redeem them. Yodoya Shani Meshabdon, know that I will cause them to be enslaved or in exile. Teda Shani Goylam, I will bring them out of exile. Adkan. Hine Omar Kostav Yodoya Teda. The Torah says that you should know. Everybody has to know this. HaKadosh Baruch Hu HaMefazer. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the only one who could scatter the Jews, but Hu HaMechanis, and he's the only one who could gather in the Jews. Nobody else has permission to get mixed up in this, to mix in and do Hashem's job for him.
Yes.
Take a look at the Pirush Nezer HaKodesh on the Medrash, on the Shemarich Lefarish. He goes on and explains She'akasu Medaber Begulas Mitzrayim. Even though really this pasuk wasn't talking about the future exile, it's talking only about Mitzrayim. But Gulas Mitzrayim is a prototype for all the future exiles. Ala Gula Hasida, and it's for the future redemption. It will happen the same way as Mitzrayim, that Hashem will take us out. As it says in the pasuk, Hashem will show us amazing things by the Gula Hasida, the same way He did by Yetzias Mitzrayim.